went back in time to kill the evil from the future. Someone muttered in awe. The battlefield descended into chaos. A soldier shouted, "I'll hold this side." Another yelled, "The Saintess has disappeared. Find her." "Yes, sir. Cuke. There are too many of them. Hold on. We need to protect the Saintess." Then one soldier spotted her and gasped, "Saintess, there you are." The mages were nowhere to be seen. Kang Ryun and Elder Morshutan lay motionless on the ground, their bodies scorched by divine fire. Estelle turned calmly and asked, "How are the damages?" A soldier reported breathlessly that thanks to your protection, there have been no casualties yet, but the number of injured is steadily increasing. At this rate, total annihilation seems certain. Estelle nodded solemnly. Then there is no choice. These two were felons, so I executed them on the spot. The soldier stammered, But, Saintess, it is too early to retreat." Elder Morshutan dedicated his entire life to chimera research. There is a possibility that this corpse is fake. Estelle's eyes narrowed. Estelle was plenty strong. She suddenly stopped. "Wait, who are you? I have never seen your face before." The soldier froze. Then he smiled coldly. "Oh my." But the archmage disguised as one of the followers changed everything. He straightened his back. He was the Golden Archmage Tower Master, Adrian. Estelle gasped. "What?" Adrian spread his arms wide. "Retreating? I cannot allow that." Chains of golden light shot from his hands, wrapping around Estelle Hadash El Ras. Suddenly, a colossal beam of light erupted from the forest, shaking the heavens. The next morning, the news broke across the continent. A paperboy shouted in the streets, waving the latest headlines. "Extra! Extra! Read all about it." The headlines read, Estelle Hadasha El Ras, Saintess of Zion, kidnapped. The Grand Cathedral of the new church, Zion, was thrown into chaos. The first Saintess of the El Ras Kingdom, the Saintess of the new Church of Zion, had been kidnapped during the transfer of a criminal. The prime suspect in the case was none other than the Tower Master of the Mage Tower, the Golden Archmage Adrian. The paperboy shouted, "Extra! Extra! The Saintess has been kidnapped." Corin Locke thought to himself, the royal family and the religious order have joined hands for a Saintess rescue operation. Accordingly, the Guardian Association assembled the 7 elite Guardian guilds, Red Brotherhood, Rounds, Piana Knights, Modern Magic Research Society, Iron Warhammer, Northern Army. "Corin's Guardians," the captain muttered. "Corin's Guardians? Look at the state of that ship. Why is it all covered in cotton balls or whatever that is? With that setup, they will not even be able to fire a single cannon shot properly." A sailor replied, "Captain, they look like them." The captain sighed and said, "Ha. It's the Northern Army's elite Guardians. Since when did they start bringing children along for something this important?" Another sailor called out, "Captain Corin and Vice Captain Mariette of Corin's Guardians, please take your seats. Congratulations on your promotion to elite Guardians." The vice captain gasped, "What? They are the same rank as us, those miners?" Corin Locke thought to himself, it's understandable to be surprised. Mariette, Huaron, and Alicia are part of the team, and though Corin's Guardians, connected to the Warski Mercenary Corps and even Eden, possess overwhelming power, becoming a Tier 1 Guardian required a very complex and lengthy process. But since the association was in a hurry, they fast-tracked our promotion because of our recent sharp rise in performance. The reason I pushed us so hard on missions like crazy was actually because of this. I needed to enter the tower subjugation. The Guardian Association leader stood before them and announced, "The Mage Tower has kidnapped the Saintess. To rescue her, our association branch has dispatched the 7 elite Guardian guilds who are here now as elite Guardians." A Piana Knights elite Guardian said, "That's all fine, but I hope there's an acceptable reward prepared." A Red Brotherhood elite Guardian added, "We're not volunteers, you know." The association leader replied, "Of course." Regarding this situation, the kingdom has promised a substantial hero participation reward to all Guardians involved in this tower subjugation. Unlimited looting will be permitted, whether it's material resources or human resources. The hall erupted. "Nice. You mean we can take all the treasures and magical tools in the tower? Ha ha ha, are they basically offering the mages as slaves? Then weaklings should just back off, right?" The captain warned, "Let me make this clear. If you try to take our share, you'll be done for, rookie." Mariette Denalef shouted, "Corin!" Corin Locke grabbed her arm gently and said, "Calm down, senior," the captain scoffed. "Forget elite Guardians. More like a school club." Corin thought to himself, competition over rewards started even before the mission commenced. A red-haired Guardian sneered, "Honestly, in this situation, we should be thanking the tower. They did kidnap the Saintess for us after all." His companion nodded. The others are probably thinking the same thing. Locke thought grimly. Not a single one of them truly wants to save the Saintess. They're all blinded by their own potential gains. Mariette Dunalev hissed. Those bastards. They don't even care about the Saintess. Corin, are you all right? Corin said. I'm fine. We should focus on the task at hand. He thought. The reality of the elite guardians is like this. I should ignore light threats like that, because if this continues, all these people are bound to die. And part of the main story of heroic legend of Arhan featured the tower subjugation. The Steel Archipelago was composed of dozens of islands and one massive main island. To reach the main island where the Mage Tower stood, one had to conquer the smaller islands one by one. However, the Mage Tower had been fully prepared. Most of the hastily assembled elite guardians could not even make landfall. The advance party was annihilated, and even out of the main force, a total of 60% of the elite guardians were wiped out. In the previous round, this subjugation mission was the worst failure in Guardians history. A mage on the shore shouted, "Come, Guardians, bastards, we'll turn you all into fish food. 500 meters. 400, 300, a sailor shouted. Then confusion struck. As a storm raged around the ships, the vice captain shouted, "Captain, we've spotted Mage Tower forces on the shore. It looks like an ambush." The captain roared, "Kuh! Damn Mage Tower bastards. If this keeps going, we'll be annihilated." Meanwhile, a mage muttered, "What? We haven't even done anything yet, though." The captain blinked. "Huh?" Then Locke plucked the strings of Euathne, his harp. Lightning raged across the sea. Corin raised his hand in a demon sign and shouted, "Rabbit, rabbit, where are you going? Jumping, jumping, everywhere. System notification, tier, legendary. Wadney Dagda's string instrument. A legendary harp that killed 9 giants. The Giant Slayer's harp. Effect, and sends a magic effect to all areas the sound reaches, and flies to its master's call from anywhere, anytime. When used to bludgeon giants with the harp, deals 1,200% additional damage." Corin continued to rock, shouting, "Where are you going? System notification, effect, natural disaster." The captain yelled, "What is this crazy man doing in this situation?" Corin shouted, "Doran?" Doran replied, "Is this within your calculations too, employer?" As swords came flying through the air, chaos descended upon the sea. Locke thought to himself, a catastrophe that kills 60% of the entire force happens the moment they land on the island? Then, instead of letting them die, Corin, gripping Euathne in both hands, shouted, "The show is not over yet." He raised his head against the storm and began to sing loudly, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star." Lightning split the sky, thunder rolled like war drums, and waves rose like mountains. Locke thought, "I will smash the fleet and send you into the sea." His cracked voice roared through the tempest. "How I wonder where you are." The sea raged in rhythm with his harp. Divine resonance, chaos turned melody, at the Royal Army command. A guardian slammed the table. Damn those tower bastards, to think they would unleash large-scale nature magic. It was a landing operation that mobilized as many as 50 ships. No one would have expected that they'd be forced to retreat without even approaching the shore. "Report our losses," the vice captain said grimly. 13 ships have sunk, and 21 have been heavily damaged. The keels are shattered. Repairs are impossible. A green-haired guardian clenched his fist. "Damn it, it must have been a massacre." The vice captain hesitated. "The thing is, not a single person died. There are a few lightly injured among the wrecked ships, but that's about it." The guardian blinked in disbelief. "What the hell do you mean? Half the fleet was destroyed and we didn't even suffer one casualty." At sea, the rain poured endlessly. Survivors clung to lifeboats that bobbed amid the shattered remains of the fleet. A sailor coughed up seawater and spat rainbows into the storm. A pretty boy slammed his fist against the side of the boat. "Those damn Mage Tower bastards!" Thankfully, another sailor said, "The Corin Guardians brought so many lifeboats." The captain shook his head. "No. What saved us was the music." He looked toward the mast. Locke stood there, drenched in seawater, harp in hand. The captain whispered in awe. He calmed the hurricane down with music. Corin, voice raw and torn, smiled faintly. "Of course, music isn't something meant to kill people." He plucked one final note. "It's meant to save them." Locke. As the waves settled and thunder faded into silence, the guardians cheered. Corin Locke." Tears mixed with seawater as he cried in peace. Corin extended his hand to the bald captain. "Take hold." The man grasped it firmly. And Locke thought to himself, in the original story, the elite guardians never even got a chance to shine. But still, how much effort must they have put in to become elite guardians in the first place? Just because they were blinded by greed for a moment and failed to grasp the situation, that doesn't mean I can let them die. Everyone believes the natural disaster was the work of the Mage Tower, and they think my song stopped it. At least I saved the people I couldn't rescue in the previous round. As the captain hugged him tightly, Korin looked up at the sky. If possible, it would have been better if the tower subjugation event never occurred at all. But this scenario can be called a necessary evil. In the main storyline, the tower subjugation is a pivotal event for everyone in this world, because it's the key event that reveals what kind of force the Mage Tower truly is. In the city, Lord Bugman read the newspaper, tears in his eyes. The Mage Tower kidnapped the Saintess. My future workplace just self-destructed. Korin thought, if the whole world learns the truth about the tower and the Balthazar faction, in the end, it will help me gather allies. Of course, the one thing I couldn't prevent was the Saintess's abduction. Jaeger Hinspeter, wiping his tears, said, but more than that, I'm worried about her. She's still alive, right? Lork sobbed beside him. Wah! Korin thought again, because the Saintess is so beloved, her abduction will only strengthen public support for crushing the tower. There's no need to worry now. Meanwhile, inside the Mage Tower, Estelle Hadasha El Ras snapped. I said to bring red wine, Korin thought. Estelle, who's currently imprisoned in the Mage Tower, should still be safe according to the scenario. Just like these people here. The captain, vice captain, and sailors raised their hands, forming rock signs. Peace, they shouted. Korin smiled faintly and shouted back, peace. Mariette Dunalev, standing behind him, looked puzzled. Korin smiled at her and thought, I can just save them all. Deep within the Mage Tower, blood dripped onto the cold stone floor. Estelle Hadasha El Ras, her wrist wounded, stared at her hand in disbelief. How could this be? Dunske sneered. What, did you think a Saintess couldn't get hurt? Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to watch this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider sharing my videos or channel with your friends who might also enjoy it. Your support means the world to me and helps my channel grow. Let's keep this community thriving together. Until next time, see you in the next video.